Yes. And I started thinking about it like they're responding to us. I'm like, I wonder what life must be like, what consciousness must be like for the dolphin. And I wonder if it's similar to humans. And I wonder if it's the same. I was thinking, I wonder if they have the exact same consciousness. It's just filtered through an entirely different environment, a totally different skin. You know, you're in a fish's body and a totally different way of communicating, a totally different language that's almost indecipherable. But what if it's exactly the same thing? The inside, the consciousness. And then I thought about it, I'm like, oh my God, like what if that's the case with people? What if we are all exactly the same thing? We just are transmitted through different biological filters, different life experiences, different childhoods, different everything, different bad genetic rolls of the dice. I mean, people are born with different ailments and diseases, and people are born crippled. You know, the reason why you're supposed to have compassion is that easily could have been you. It's just like a filter that the consciousness is going through, but the consciousness is one thing. It's all the same. You are just like me. It's just like, and your uniqueness has to do with your biology and your interpretations of your experiences as you're growing up. You know, your unique personality, your unique personality that everybody talks about when you're a child could easily be attributed to what kind of machine you're running. You know, let me tell you something. Everybody's biology is different. You know that if you watch porn. Right? There's people that were blessed with gigantic dicks, and there's poor dudes with little tiny dicks, and there's girls with incredible bodies, and then there's other girls that, like, whatever, no matter what they do, they can't lose that last 20 pounds. Like, that's just fact. That is what it is. You're born with, there's variables. Like, there's variables with oranges. You'll see one orange that's big, and another one that's not so big. They're not all the same. And these various chemicals, and then on top of these various chemicals that are all in balance, all these different hormones, but on top of that, then it's like, how does this particular model interact with its environment? Your own unique experiences. I mean, how many times have you seen something your friends didn't and it fucked you up for the rest of the day? You know, like you see someone get hit by a car, or you see something, and then you have the same friends, you go through the same, and all of a sudden you don't want to hang out with them anymore. You think that things are frivolous. You think they're being retarded. You know, you hear about a girl getting raped, and you're the one who freaks out. And it's what you see one thing, and it will set you off in a certain direction.
Yep.
And it's like, so who the fuck knows what your personality is? You know, who the fuck knows how much of it is your body, how much of it is your experiences, how much of it is what you learned from your parents, and how much of theirs is the same shit. How much of your personality is really just you reacting and saying what you have to say and doing what you have to do to get by in your environment. But at the core of everybody, from fucking serial killers to the most compassionate people on earth, it's very likely that the consciousness is the same. Male, female, that's all biological. It's very logical that the thinking, it's very possible that the root of it all, when you think about yourself as you, that it's all the same. That's nuts. That's nuts.
Somehow cats involved with that.
Those cats, they're onto some shit. They're onto some shit.
Yeah, that's really interesting because then when there's like personality tests on websites, like those dating websites we were talking about, so like you take personality tests. So you're all trying to take a test that's based on what? So, you know, the person. You know, like, right. You know, how do they know? It's
those
kind of
personality tests are stupid as fuck. That's just like the same people that have glitter tags on their MySpace pages. Tags. You know, what are you taking? You don't know what your fucking personality is like? Why don't you go sit down in the grass by yourself and think about shit? You know, take a goddamn meditation class. At a certain point in time, as a human being, you become responsible for your own biology. You know, and that's what we don't teach people. What we need to teach kids in school, there needs to be, you know, you have math and you have English, and these are all very important subjects, but what we also need is how to manage your mind, how to think correctly, how to, when something comes up in your life, how to deal with it and turn it into something to your advantage, how not to go into a negative spiral and have your whole fucking life fall apart because of one thing. And it's very important that people learn how to think, how to control your mind, you know. And how many people actually do that? It's not that many, right? I mean, it's not that many people really know how to think. You know, how to think positively, how to affect the people around you as positively as you can, how to move your life into the way, you know, move your life into a healthy place. Very hard to do. It's because we're all starting from scratch. You know, we're all starting from scratch. We're all trying to read books. We're never taught that shit in school. I mean, if they really want to teach you how to be a good employee, how to, you know, make a good living, that's you being a better person, being better at being a person, being better at managing your life is very important. They should be teaching kids how to think correctly, like early in school, and they should have discipline. And I don't mean discipline by like, do what everybody tells you to do. That's not discipline. What discipline is you have to do a certain amount. You have to do something, like do anything that's really hard, like whether it's swimming or archery or playing chess or doing jujitsu. For kids, having something that's difficult to do is very important. They need to be pushed. It's very, very important. You can develop so much more of who you are if you've already pushed your boundaries. If you've been lazy your whole life, it's so hard to get out of not being lazy anymore. And this is all shit that they should be teaching in school, man. They should totally be teaching that shit in school. And it's not just history. When I was a kid, they fucking taught us Columbus discovered America. That was still being taught. And now we know for a fact he didn't.
I think it still is, isn't it?
I don't think so, dude.
Really?
I mean, he's still... It's